Hey, this is Jason, One Hit Wonder, www.ohwpaint.com. Today we're going to be prepping a piece of plastic. It's our friend the rain gutter, and they're very, very simple to prep to use our paint. You're going to need 4 ingredients. First one is prep oil. Well, we use a solvent-based degreaser. This is clean strip prep oil. It's 14-15 bucks a gallon. We include all of these items in our prep kit, but if you want to go and buy gallons at a time, feel free to do so. So we've got degreaser. We have a tack cloth, which is we use a surgical blue. Again, available in our prep kit. This is a mesh that's infused with a non-reactive glue, which will basically be used to wipe any dust off a part caused by the scuffing process. We then have our Scotch pads. We recommend either the 3M light gray or this high-tech is actually very good as well. A little bit less expensive, and I know a lot of us like to save money. So that's your Scotch pad, and fourthly, is compressed air, which is very important, and I'll show you why. So what we're going to do is basically get this thing ready to paint. First thing I always do, and bear in mind that you have got a lot of your parts again dropped off by customers. You don't know where they've been. They could have been freshly polished. They might be full of silicone. They might have all sorts of ingredients off them. So you want to do this stuff before you begin touching it, before you begin setting it next to your paint, begin setting it next to painted parts. You want these parts to be clean. And we're assuming, for the sake of this argument, that these are not used engine parts or old ATV parts that have had grease and oil spilled up on them. Those really need to be chemically washed first or taken outside and really scrubbed with hot soapy water and things. But for the sake of this, for this plastic, what we're going to do, first of all, is just blow the part off just to get rid of any big pieces of dust and contaminants. Very important, a lot of guys don't think about this. This is going to be going into your dip tank, so it's going to be fully submerged, or 99% of it's going to be submerged. So make sure you clean the parts that aren't going to be painted as well. You want to look around for grease or grime or spiderwebs and all that stuff that kind of collects in here. Just make sure visually that it's clean, and clean off any bits that you know, when you kind of dip this thing, this is all going to be underwater, and you don't want that to get into your nice clean dip water. Second step, and always wear gloves when you're handling solvents. I know a lot of people think it's a pain, but you know, a box of these is not very expensive. We always keep them fresh, always keep them clean. Get a shop towel. We use the blue shop towels. And what you're looking to do, the first step is to degrease. Now, a lot of guys love to get in and start sanding this thing down, but if you've got contaminants in here, all you're going to do is just sand them into the grain of the plastic. So you're going to scratch your contaminants right in there. And we've all seen it. You go spray it, and you've got nice lines of fisheye, which is basically you have to steam it or just go in and scrub the whole thing down. So we always make sure that we do the degrease first. So you want to just look at corners, nooks and crannies. Get in all those nooks and crannies first. It's just like we discussed with painting. Do all the hard little bits first, because you'll find that a lot of the larger bits will have already been, you know, semi-degreased by that point. So we're just going to do that. Come up the full side around here, all the way down, all the way along the top, and do it methodically as well, so that you know you don't forget what bits you've cleaned. You can see it actually evaporates pretty quickly, so it's very easy to forget. So pretty methodical. We're going to go around the front edge. So now we've done all the inside edges and these top edges, and then all we've got here is your edges. Keep it nice and clean. And have a look at it again. You want to be looking around for contaminants, any sign. This will fisheye as well if you haven't got all the grease off. So you can see it's drying off nice. Second stage, we're going to go to the Scotch pad. I've done this as well, and a lot of guys attempted to do it. After about 5 or 6 goes, these Scotch pads have burnt out, and a lot of guys, they kind of look like a piece of cotton wool after about 5 or 6 times, and guys will still try and use them to Scotch with, and I've done it myself. What you want to do is get these edges and get right the way into these edges. It's just the same. You want to get a nice dull finish on your plastic, and we'll show you for the sake of the camera. We'll do it quickly. You want to all these edges back and forth, and what you're looking for is, if there was a shine, you want it to be dull. You want it to be a matte, and if it was matte, you want it to be able to see your scratch marks. And keep rotating this thing as well, because if you don't, you're just going to use the one section of Scotch pad over and over again. And I'm working it back into these corners. Make sure all these corners are in. Already burnt through one thumb. Around the edge. And you can see it's really dulled off now. You know, that's what you're looking for. And I'm doing it relatively quickly for the sake of this video, but you really want to concentrate on all these edges. And then, again, nice and flat hand, nice and even. And you're looking to really get a nice scratch on those parts. So we're going to go around the edges, around the corners. Now, the corners are very important. Corners and inside these edges, because that's where your paint will fail. Because very few people remember that these corner edges, if they don't get touched, you've basically got paint sitting on a raw piece of plastic, and that's not going to be good. So make sure you get all the tiny little intricate bits, because people will find that's where the failure starts. So now that we've scuffed it, it's all nice and matte, we're almost ready for paint. We're ready to tack, but not just yet. First thing before you tack, if you want your tack cloth to have a bit of a life, blow it off first, because you're going to get rid of 80% of the dust with just this. And then you're just getting the stuff that this won't take off. Make sure this is high pressure. We run about 150, 130. And, you know, face it away from yourself. Get in the edges. All the little nooks and crannies. And again, keep it methodical. So we've gotten rid of most of the dust. Nice, fresh Scotch pad, tack cloth, sorry. We want to get a nice clean section. And again, we're going to go in all these little nooks. You want to, as well, try and keep your rubbing in a single direction rather than scrub it like that, because you can just move dust from here to here to here to here. So you want to come on nice and smooth, nice and smooth. And a lot of times, as I was just doing, you know, you keep a part next to your chest just so you can get a grip on it. So just make sure that you remember what part you got next to your chest, because that's going to be the last part you do. So again, nice and smooth, you're not scrubbing it. One last one, and then this bit that you have next to your chest. There you go. Free of dust, ready to go in the booth. If this part is going to sit, if you're doing a big production run and you've got 20 of these things, or 30 or 40 hopefully, you want to get them all prepped like this, get them in the booth, and whenever you've got a chance, just before you're ready to spray, just give them one last run over with the tack cloth. That'll avoid you getting trash in the paint when you paint it, and it just cuts out another step of going back to try and nib those little bits out before you dip. So that's it. That's prepping plastic. This is Jason at OHWPaint.com. Thanks for watching.